Okay, so right from the jump, one thing I really loved about this chapter is how much it played upon the concept of what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, or just plainly what happens when you have an indestructible shield going up against the strongest sword. They're so powerful that they ultimately end up canceling each other out. And yet, in how you could apply that to this battle, you could say this whole battle was Homer actually finding the fallacy in that logic, as a shield is only meant to defend, and anytime the shield charges full force towards the sword will ultimately end up shattering the shield. I know I'm getting, and I know it sounds like I'm getting wrapped up in poetics here, but basically what I'm saying is, basically what I'm saying is, anytime we had seen Brigandine go on the offensive, ultimately that was where he stopped being a shield. And honestly, if Brigandine had just remained on the defensive the whole time, he possibly would have won. But because he went on the attack, Homura was able to more easily pierce through those defenses, and generally more easily find the weak spots in Brigandine's defense. Now, I also want to take a second to talk about a hypothetical of what would have happened had Valkyrie gone up against Brigandine, because while I think Valkyrie would have ultimately defeated Brigandine, I also believe that Valkyrie would have ended up sacrificing herself to do it, and that ultimately her death still would have happened, because just based off the flashback we got of her in Sun Jewel, it painted a very vivid picture of someone who, while pretty much holding true to the fundamentals of battle like Homura, Valkyrie herself also is the one to more easily throw herself into battle and make the sacrifice play. It's just who she is. And while Homura does follow a very similar mantra, as she herself said, with Homura, she pretty much never loses focus on those fundamentals of battle to use that as her advantage. Whereas with Valkyrie, you could argue that there are times where she's pretty much throw away the fundamentals of battle in order to make that sacrifice play. And it is in that very simple difference of approach that I feel is why Homura survived, whereas I don't think Valkyrie would have. All that out of the way, though, let's talk about the part of this chapter with Clown, where he's successfully accessed the Ethereon, or about to access it. And obviously the first thing to talk about is that, yes, it's revealed Ethereum is basically what Ziggy needs to overwrite the laws of reality, and I think that was actually revealed a while ago, but having it presented in this way truly makes it feel like we're kind of in the end game, and has me even questioning if Rebecca's power can even save everyone from this worst case scenario this time. Obviously one of the big things I believe Mashima is doing here is he is setting Rebecca up in order to activate some kind of power, unlock some kind of power, or just generally try and use Cat Leaper in order to try and fix this whole situation. But the thing is, with Ethereum basically in Clown's grasp now, I'm not sure how likely that even is, or how, even if her power is even able to overcome the power of Ethereum. It probably will, but by that same token, this is the first time where I generally feel Shaky should be prioritizing the mission over his friends. Okay, Shaky, I get it. You want to make sure Homer is okay. You've now verified she's alive. She's going to live. But so get the fuck back to the ship, dude. Because seriously, we're about to face a fucking crisis situation. We're already in a crisis situation, and it's about to get 100 times worse. And I don't think there's going to be a possibility of a redo this time. So seriously, Shiki, get back to the ship. Get, like, wherever you are, get the fuck out of Dodge and get back to the ship. Now. That's all I'm saying. Like seriously, the only thing I'm, like, seriously, things have gotten so bad on the ship that the only thing I'm holding out hope for that might keep Clown occupied long enough for Shaky and others to get there is that there's some kind of firewall defensive program he'll have to hack through to get to Ethereum. And that is me going on, and this is me going on a bit of a stretch. Hermit shows up to intercept him and save Ivory, because while I'm sure it's because he wanted to put as much focus on Homura's fight as possible, the chapter itself it did feel like Hermit's fate. It kind of left Hermit's fate up in the air. Like the last chapter, it kind of left her. She was kind of she was being infected immensely, but like we didn't really touch up on her. So maybe Mashima's leaving her out of it in order to set up that she's going to survive and try to help Ivory. I don't know, but yeah, it's like, so yeah, maybe just leaving that possibility of intercepting Clown open, or even her sending out an SOS to Shaky. But no matter what, like, Shaky, you and the others need to get your ass back to the ship, because you're running out of time, dude. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, you're running out of time, Shaky, and you really need to get back to the ship, because things are going to get, like, a million, bajillion, trillion times worse than they already are now. Like, seriously, Shaky, just get back to the ship, motherfucker. With that, so, and yeah, I guess like, the whole thing with Shaky aside, if I did have any other kind of criticisms of the chapters, that there was so little of us touching base on what was happening on the ship. But I think that is intentional on Mashima's part to build that sense of, like, tension that Clown might actually succeed here, but also leaving it open for someone to possibly come charging and prevent him from gaining control of Ethereum. Like, the only true way, like, it's there are so many ways I can see an escape from this worst case scenario, and Rebecca being one of them. But it's like, and whatever new power she's going to have one to like overcome this, she needs to tap into that ability now, as that's what I'm assuming Mashima is setting up here, whatever her new ability is. But again, because but at the same time we're also headed full steam ahead towards the dark future in Rebecca's vision, and I don't know, like, how likely we are to overcome that at this point. But yeah, that's really all I've got to say about this chapter. It only had one main focus, really, of Homura versus Brigandine, and a little bit of setup with Ethereum. But yeah, this is one of those chapters where it's progressed quite a bit, yet didn't at the same time. And but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, @Crunchroll. Be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, everyone.